everybody, and welcome back to DualShockers.com. I am your host for this edition of our E3 conference breakdown. I am Logan Moore. I am joined by Tomas Franzisi and Tanner Pierce, both of who were at Ubisoft's showcase earlier today. We saw a bunch of stuff this year. Last year seemed like their kind of big reveals where they showed their hand a lot for what was going to be coming up in the following years. This year was really more just showing those games that we had already seen last year, like Skull and Bones, Starlink, and Beyond Good and Evil 2, I guess would be the other big one. So they kind of led off with Beyond Good and Evil 2. They showed a new cinematic trailer for that game. I think a lot of people are confused about the timeline in which that game takes place now, since Jade is in it. But Tomas, tell me what you thought about that new trailer there.
I thought it looked great. Once they got to the gameplay, it looks pretty rough, but it is in pre-alpha, and it looks very dynamic, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of that. But the cinematic was really cool. I mean, any good sci-fi, I'm just like totally on board with. I like the original Beyond Good and Evil, and that it's going in a very different direction, but it's one that I'm looking very much forward to, and the reveal at the end was really cool. Everybody was super happy by that. I didn't call it because it seemed like the game was going to be set like way before the games. I thought that was personally a weird move to like bring back a franchise and not have any connection to the originals. So so it looked pretty good, and it was probably the highlight of the show for me. There were a couple other really great ones shown off, but that was probably the coolest one. There's also a collaboration with Joseph Gordon-Levitt's company, so people can put their own content in the game, and that's really cool. But it also shows that the game's probably pretty early on, if like they're still working on environmental design and all those different kind of like necessary things in music. But it's cool that the fans, because I know that franchise has a very dedicated fan base, so they'll be able to give their input for the game.
Tanner, let me come to you, because I know the next kind of big one they showed there during the show was The Division 2, which you are going to go hands-on with here soon. Tell me your initial impressions of what you saw there from the new Tom Clancy joint.
Well, I thought it was much more interesting than the first game. I played the first game for about 2 or 3 months when it came out, and I very quickly got bored with it. Not to say it was a bad game by any stretch. I think it was just a bit repetitive in most senses. So to see, the different types of bosses in the demo we saw yesterday at Microsoft, and then the new trailer that we saw today, I like the fact that they're focusing on story and they're focusing on variety and gameplay. So I'm looking forward to playing it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it when it comes out later.
Tomas.
The DLC for the game is also free. That was a great move. I know post Battlefront 2, any kind of in-game DLC or transactions are very controversial. And I know that I believe the first game had expansions. So it was cool to see them say, oh yeah, you're getting like 3 hefty expansions and you're getting them all for free. That surprised me personally. But that's Division 2 looks pretty good. It looks like more of the original, but it does look more polished because they also can take everything they've learned from the development of those multiplayer games. So hopefully it's better than like the Destiny 2 situation where they actually learn from the original. So I'm looking forward to that one. And it comes out next March 15th.
So there's a lot of other games we could hit up on here. Elijah Wood's Transference. We've also got Starlink, which is going to have Star Fox. Forum. One of our writers is very excited about Star Fox, if you cannot tell. That looks cool. We will be going hands-on with both of those at some point. In addition to Skull and Bones, which I think looks a lot more fleshed out than last year when we saw it. Looks like there's a lot more elements to that game than I think a lot of us, myself included, initially thought. So that's good. We'll be going hands-on with all of those tomorrow at the show, so be sure to look out for our previews. The last one I really want to touch on here and kind of hone in on, besides the lack of Splinter Cell, which I guess is maybe a discussion on its own that we don't necessarily need to have. Obviously, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the follow-up to Origins from last year. It looks like it is borrowing a lot of the elements from Origins that really kind of restarted the series last year, kind of was a fresh take on the series last year. This looks like it's going to be a kind of an iteration upon that. They're adding dialogue trees to the game finally now, and it looks like Assassin's Creed has fully embraced RPG elements now, where it's always had those elements in it, but like it is not a lie to at this point say that Assassin's Creed is just kind of a flat out RPG at this point, which is really cool and is something I enjoy. What was your thoughts on it, Tomas?
I haven't played the game since around, I think it was Brotherhood on the Xbox 360, but it's been interesting seeing it relaunch with Origins after the yearly hiatus, and or after, I believe it was a year hiatus. And they've been going in a really cool new direction. Like Egypt and Greece are both great settings that I've wanted the series to do for years. Still holding out for Japan, but we got Sony's new game to look forward to for that. But it looked pretty cool. The dialogue choices are a really great option. Everything we saw gameplay-wise looks good. There was like a battle on a beach towards the end that I thought looked amazing. A little bit, the animations looked a bit janky, but that might just be the engine it's in. But otherwise, I was super impressed, even as someone that isn't really a huge fan of the series.
Tanner, give me some of your quick takes from what you saw there.
So I do agree that some of the animation looks a bit janky. However, those close-ups look pretty good, especially as someone who saw that live on a 4K screen. I think it was 4K. That kind of blew me away. That was really good looking. Gameplay looks solid. I still have yet to pick up Assassin's Creed Origins, but I'm planning on it, and I'm also planning on picking up Odyssey as well. Yeah, looks really solid.
Yeah, I mean, I think my biggest hesitation with Odyssey is that they are going back to the annualization of Assassin's Creed, which is a slight concern I have because I really think that franchise benefited from having a year off. But the best positive thing I can say here is it seems like they are adding a lot of things to this game that we really weren't seeing from year to year last time when the series was just annualized. And so I think because of that, it might still feel like a fresh experience. And I feel like... yeah, I mean, having an Assassin's Creed game every year is good. It's just when you fall into a lull there and you're not really iterating upon the core game that much, then I think that's where it gets stale. And this looks like it's still continuing to iterate upon those main tenets of what makes an Assassin's Creed game good. So I'm excited for it, and we will be going hands-on with that soon. In fact, we will be going hands-on with everything Ubisoft early tomorrow, maybe today if you're watching this the day it goes live. So again, be sure to check out DualShockers.com because I'm sure we will have tons of hands-on previews. Yes, Tanner.
I gotta give a quick shout out to Trials Rising. I love Trials Fusion. I need to play Trials Rising. It looks absolutely amazing.
I think we will be playing Trials Rising tomorrow as well, so be sure to keep a lookout for that. That's out in February as well. Yeah, all these games are coming out. Assassin's Creed's October. I don't know. There's release dates. Go look up news stories. That will do it for our coverage of Ubisoft's conference here. Again, overall a good showing. I think every showing has been very solid this year. We will have to see if Nintendo can keep it up tomorrow as they kind of cap things off before E3 proper starts. And again, as E3 proper starts, we will have a lot more coverage up, so be sure to check out DualShockers.com. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel because we will have more videos going up like this throughout the week, probably based on more previews for specific games that we will be seeing. And yeah, be sure to follow us on Twitter and all that stuff in the lower thirds that you've probably seen throughout this video, because I'm sure we will be asking for plenty of questions throughout the week with the interviews that we have with certain developers and publishers as well. So yeah, until next time, thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.